Welcome to Escaping Purgatory, a podcast where we rewatch Supernatural, then talk it through in the hopes we can finally escape this show.
Join us each week, leave comments on upcoming episodes, and together we can escape Supernatural Purgatory.
Hello.
Hello.
This episode was here. You liked it more than I think.
I was like, yes, this is it. It's all about dads.
And to give a peek behind the curtains, in America, we're filming this, recording this on Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day today in America.
It's not for me.
No.
I already done. Nope, it's not for me. Why are they on different days?
I don't know. Father's Day is the same day.
Right. You just extra money, I feel.
Maybe. It doesn't make, because in England it's what, in March?
I honestly could not tell you. Yes.
You're not celebrating your mother on Mother's Day?
I might like send her a text. I'm not a good daughter, all right? I'm not good.
So you wouldn't go to the lengths that what was her name? Cassie? No, what's her name? Chrissy did in this episode. I was right. It was a K name.
You know, if she got kidnapped, like sure, but like.
I hope she doesn't listen, but I guess we'll find out.
She knows. She knows I only sent her a text on Mother's Day. Oh dear. Yeah. Well, you know, what a way to start an episode. Just outing myself as a terrible, terrible daughter. It's all good. But yeah. But this episode was about fathers, so you know.
Yeah. True. I don't know in the terms of our schedule what day this comes out, but I'm hoping it's past Father's Day.
It's nowhere near.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah. I don't know how you didn't like this episode. I thought it was on point. I thought it was a good time for it to come out, you know, after Bobby, and I think it was all good.
I guess, I mean, it wasn't bad, but it just it hurt. The last scene hurt. Oh my goodness. You shouldn't be able to make a smile hurt. Come on.
I just was shouting like the face acting at my screen. Yeah. That's some good stuff.
That is, yeah. And it's like they jump from father figures very quickly because now Frank is the one.
Is he? Yeah. Like, I think they just need someone to like fill the void. Yeah. You know. But I thought this was good. One interesting thing that I have to point out with this is, why are the Dean parallels always women? Or, you know, teenage girls, I guess.
I don't know. Is she a Dean parallel though?
100%. 100%.
You think so?
I know she's all like the thing at the end where she's like, I'm going to be like that. She's kind of both of them. She's both of them combined. Yeah. Because, she's also a bit of a Sam parallel. But she's Dean. She's Dean. I don't know.
I don't think she worships her dad as much as Dean does.
There's something about the like snark and the like pulling the gun on someone in wherever she was staying. There's just too many things. I really thought she was supposed to be a Dean parallel. But then at the end, she doesn't go the same path that he did. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I enjoyed it because this episode to me, and this is why I think it's good. So we have Sam stepping into the role of like a father almost. He's trying to fill the void of Bobby with himself. He's proving that he can do it alone. Whereas Dean goes and meets his kid self, who has just losing a father, and he kind of helps her through that So he's kind of helping himself in the child role rather than the father role. That's how I saw this episode.
Yeah, and that's true. I can see that. And also the line that she says about like, you know, my dad left and he didn't come back, and then Sam left and he didn't come back. It does feel a little bit like that.
Yeah.
It's that same kind of abandonment issue. Because Dean doesn't want anybody to leave.
Exactly. I really enjoyed this because it's both of them working through their grief in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say Sam's is maybe, I don't even know. Is it more healthy? It's not more healthy. It's just different.
It's just different. Yeah. Yeah. But he thinks it's more healthy.
He does, yeah.
This is one of the few times where I feel like Dean and John are somewhat similar, like their revenge obsession is pretty good. It's very similar. And no, you're right. She is, because she's the one who saw her mum get killed.
Yeah.
So did Dean.
Yeah.
They were probably like, yeah.
It's all Dean, all the way down.
It is. It is. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. And there's just aspects of Sam in her as well, because she's an only child, so she has to be kind of both.
Yeah.
Like protect herself like Dean, but also like be naive like Sam.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, she represents the two aspects of them, you know, like and how they deal with being in the life. And I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know. I just enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, I think today you're gonna convince me that this was not actually a bad episode. I'm gonna say that now. Which we should say who the episode is.
Sure.
I will say I don't know how to pronounce this director.
Okay.
But it's season 7, episode 11. 7-Eleven. Adventures in Babysitting, written by Adam Glass and directed by Jeanot. Nope, no idea how to pronounce that last name.
Svog. I butchered that.
I'll go with that.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Have we seen one of their episodes? Oh, so they we don't know, but they did the mannequin episode.
Okay. Yeah. I actually really like the directing in this episode. There were some really choice shots that I thought were really good, actually. So, and I was thinking like, oh, I wonder who directed this. And it wasn't a regular, which I'm also not surprised at, because there were some standout moments, I think, in this of like, yeah, that's good camera work.
And I feel like it was like it was really well done. Because especially being in the dark all the time, and like the use of like neon lights, I don't know, I like that.
Yeah, I like
dark but neon.
It feels like OG Supernatural, you know, being so dark all the time, just lit by truck stop lights and like bar things. I don't know, I enjoyed it. It was good.
Things.
Let's do it.
Yep. The monster of the week was pretty interesting too. I kind of wish that we got like more of that.
Yeah,
because like it's not often that we see. Because the monster we've never come across, and I don't think we come across it again.
No, I don't think so.
And the conversation between Frank and Dean when they're surveilling the area, very interesting.
Yeah, talk about the blind leading the blind on like healthy coping mechanisms.
Right, yeah. I know.
I was just watching that like, this is bad advice.
Yeah. But also what Dean is doing is not good either. Like it's like self-destructive, or you like go out and save people. So in a self-destructive way.
Maybe that's
like you can self-destruct on your own and like not help anybody, or you can go out in the world and like save people and self-destruct too.
Yeah, it's a real lose-lose situation there for Dean, you know?
Yeah, no, it is, yeah. Yeah, he was never going to win that one, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. All these episodes have just culminated into that smile at the end, right?
I loved this. I loved it. It was good. And then I think that, like, it's not too many more episodes till we get Cass back. So, you know, I'm looking forward to the change in Dean's demeanour.
Yep. When he's, like, loving life again.
Yep. That's what happens. What happens when Cass comes back. He's always so sad when he leaves.
Yep. So, I don't know if you want to get into it.
I do. I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
You're ready?
Yeah.
Perfect. So, it's not a then, but it's a road so far because we've just come back from the mid-season finale.
Mm-hmm.
And that song with the, like, siren noise of the guitar scared the absolute crap out of me because I had my TV on really loud because I was watching. So, this is a side rant, and I'm sorry to get into a side rant so quickly, but not really. Why can't TV, like, apps, so I watch on Disney Plus and Netflix, and why can't they all be the same level of volume? Because I was watching something on Disney Plus.
Yeah, really quiet.
It's super fucking really quiet.
Yeah.
Then I go to Netflix. It's really loud. So, like, I had it on, like, Disney Plus volume. Yeah. This siren comes on. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die because there's some sort of siren going off. I was not prepared.
Love that.
No, it's not allowed. Not allowed at all. So that, you know, got my heart racing for the beginning of this episode.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
so it's got pretty much everything in it. Cass releasing the Leviathan, Sam and Dean doing various different hunts, burning ghosts, shooting the zombies are kind of like that because it's just like, look, we're doing monster stuff this time. Yeah. We're not doing angels. Look at us. We've learned it. Well, not learned our lesson, but we've changed it up again. There's because actually just thinking on it, like Lucifer's not played a big role so far, and they bring him in this.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just like. Yeah, where did all the angels go?
Well,
like we haven't
fandom lore. Let's go back. Is that Cass's death was supposed to be permanent when he went into the big lake, and the fans said no to that and bombarded the studio with letters and feathers, and they had to be told to stop until Misha Collins came back, and that's why he's in the second half of the season.
Yep. That is it. So thank you to those fans before us, the dedicated fans before us.
Yeah, like I was not involved in that, but I knew about it, and I was like, good for them.
This time in my life, I needed to concentrate on school, so no.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not saying those people didn't either. Just more dedicated. More dedication. But I think that's what it was. They were trying to shift back to monsters, so they kind of got rid of all the angels. And then, we got to the second half of the season. They're like, we're gonna have to bring them back, man. Like,
well, they were gonna have to anyway, because like, how else would they manage the Sam Lucifer stuff?
I feel like
I guess they made him like a ghost, right? So
yeah, I just feel like they were gonna eventually just forget about it, because in this season he's like, it's like big deal about it, and then it's slowly just getting to the point where he's like, every now and then he's like, yeah, my hand, and I just think they would have eventually petered that out until we forgot that he ever went to hell.
Yeah, I mean, it would be really interesting to find out when they decided that Cass was going to come back, because I think it's in a few episodes, the one where Sam basically can no longer control it, and he has to go to a mental hospital.
Yeah.
So like, had they already decided at that point that Cass was going to come back? Or, I mean, it must have been, because it's like, it's getting, I think it's like episode 17.
I think so. I mean, Cass coming back sort of like, it ties you into having to do more like heaven and hell stuff, right? I think this is one of the examples of how this show is so closely linked to the fandom that, you know, they do control the direction of this show in quite a lot of ways. And
because then after this, it does just turn into like a cosmic battle for the rest of the show.
Yeah, which I think is really interesting. And I wonder how how it would have gone if they hadn't brought Misha back on. I think they would have got cancelled. That's my real take on this. I think that because season 7 was like tanking. I don't think that it did very well, like ratings wise. And I wonder how much further they would have gone with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, I think you might be right.
Even
how good, because season 8 was only good because Cass came back. If you took Cass out,
you couldn't have a season 8 without Cass.
You're right. Interesting.
Yeah. I just think they needed more of an ensemble cast. I think he adds to it. And I do think that's part of it as well, like them realising that, and it took them so long to realise that it needed more people. You know, they killed off Bobby in this. And where were they going to go with that? They're trying to get back to just Sam and Dean. It's like, no, now you have to build your cast back up. And that's what the later half of the season is, them building their cast back up.
That's very true. Because Frank doesn't stick around, unfortunately, as fun as he is. But like he would never fill the role of Bobby anyway. Yeah. Like just his character, especially in this episode, you can see that he doesn't really want anything to do with them. And then we get another Garth episode. We get introduced to Charlie in this season. Even in this episode, we're introduced to another Hunter family. They decide not to pursue it afterwards, but that's not actually true in the end because she comes back in season 8. So
that's true. You know, so I think this. I don't know. I think I'm really looking forward to the back end of this season because I think all the best episodes of season 7 are in this part, and I like this. This one's one of them. I think it's good.
Yeah. Fair enough. So carrying on with the recap or the road so far with the Sam and Lucifer stuff, him losing touch with reality, and Dean saying, "We got you out, Sammy," and they showed the hand thing. Introduction to Frank Devereaux that they have to go see him. Dean not being particularly well, and then Bobby going into the monster of the season, saying like that they don't know how to slow the Leviathan down or let alone kill them. And then they also show all the like different ways they've tried to kill the Leviathan. We get a little bit of Crowley and like his part in all of this, and then Dick rebuffing Crowley, saying that like I would never work with you. And then Bobby finding the plans, and then Bobby dying. Oh, it still gets me.
Yeah.
It still gets me. Yeah. Yeah. And then we cut to like a diner, and I thought this was supposed to be like a Dean stand-in, maybe, because he's really facing away from like the camera, like on purpose, because he's watching somebody.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what are they trying to do here? Like, because it's the same kind of dark brown leather jacket and like the same way he's dressed and all this stuff, and I was like, huh. But then saying that out loud, I'm realizing the reason why they wear leather is because it's difficult to cut
and bite through.
Yeah, you know, so it's starting to make sense as to why, but they don't always wear it anyway. Yeah, just my brain clicked to that just now. And then he turns around and it's not Dean, it's somebody else, and he's interacting with the waitress, just asking like, oh, I've seen you around. He's like, yeah, I seem to like the ambience, and it's like implying that he wants to get with this girl who's clearly a sex worker. She's got very, very revealing clothes, like 7-inch heels, which are crazy.
Yeah, no one wears pleasers to a truck stop if they're not, trying to make some money, I feel.
This is true, and the fact she can walk in them, I'm just amazed. Just truly amazed.
The higher the platform, the easier the heel is to walk in. That's my advice in life.
True, but like you still have to get there.
I guess so, but yeah, the heel can be really big. You need to also elevate your toes, and it works. It works.
He then goes outside to follow the woman and the truck driver that she's walked off with. Clearly he's supposed to be a John, and he gets around the corner and like she's disappeared. Then the camera starts to go a bit wonky for his vision as the waitress comes up behind him. It's like, oh, you look lost, and he's like, You also look a bit, cabo wabo there. He's like, no, I'm fine. It's like, well, you shouldn't be fine because I slipped you something. And, we're venomous. And then she gets like snake eyes, which one of them is like off slightly. And I was just like,
I just didn't notice.
Just fixed it. And then she attacks him and he drops and it cuts to the title card. So clearly, he's also clearly a hunter because he pulls out a knife.
Yeah.
Like, ready to go after them.
It's super clear. Like, it's a really easy and, like, opening. This had one of the shots in that I really liked. There's the view of him between the two trucks. And, like, one side is dark and the other side is, like, red lit. I just thought it was really cool. I don't know. It was just, it was really, like, he was walking into danger. It was I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. And I agree. The monsters in this episode are cool. And they have a really quick reveal as well. I'm not sure what they're supposed to be. Like Vitala. I'm not sure what mythical creature they're supposed to be.
The drawing looked somewhat generic.
Yeah, I thought so too.
In terms of like cave painting generic.
They made me think of like, is it the Naga from World of Warcraft? Like the snake people?
Oh, yeah. They're just missing the tail.
Exactly. Maybe they once had tails. Who knows?
Who knows? I mean, this is also supernatural, so maybe they're not supposed to be so humanoid looking.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone's a human in supernatural.
Human with contacts and teeth.
I mean, it's just Star Trek alien. I've said this before, Star Trek aliens are all just human with different noses. Supernatural monsters are just humans with different, eyes and teeth. Sometimes fingernails.
Yep. Sometimes. Yeah. And sometimes protrusions in the arms.
Yeah, so true. So after the title card, we're in Ruth's cabin. Sam and Dean, they do this like time skip thing, which I thought was really good, but it was actually real cheesy. I don't like
I think had they done, I don't know how you get around that though, because like you have to show that it's been a long time, right?
I don't think that you needed like the week 1, week 2 like physically on the screen. I think they could have done just a montage of them kind of looking like sad boys and then had them say like, it's been 3 weeks, man. Like, I don't think you needed the like week 1, week 2 deal. It kind of took me out of the episode a bit.
Yeah, because it was so bizarre. Like, they don't generally do like fade in and fade out black.
Like, you could have just done a montage of them looking sad. And I don't know why, but this is so mean. I'm such a horrible person. Them just sat around looking sad was so funny to me.
It was, especially like, yeah.
Because I was just thinking,
especially after a week.
Yeah, and I was like, you're just thinking about the direction of like, just sit there and look sad.
And like, look at each other, but not at the same time. Like, Sam or Jared, look over at Jensen and like, make sure he's okay. And then Jensen, look over to Jared and make sure he's okay. And that's it.
That's it. Yeah, it was just, why? So they have week 1, sad boys on the sofas. Week 2, Dean's drinking again. I guess week 1 was bad enough that he didn't even drink, but that's bad. He definitely was.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And he's also obsessing over this number that Bobby wrote on Sam's hand, which is 45489. Sam's doing dishes. So we can see, like, Dean is taking that obsessive revenge route. Sam is getting on with things. That's the theme of this episode. So they're looking at all of the different things it could be, not finding anything. Week 3 comes by. They have started like a conspiracy board.
The exact same thing.
About Leviathan. So it's like, Biggerson's recalls contaminated meat. Customers report illness after eating turducken slammers. And there's like loads of pictures of Dick Roman on various covers of things. So Sam kind of broaches the subject of whether or not they should be calling like Bobby's contacts to tell them the news. And Dean's like, no. But he doesn't even really respond to it. He talks about the numbers instead, about the fact that he gave Frank the numbers 3 weeks ago and he hasn't got back to him already.
Can I say one thing that's really important about this?
Yes.
Also, they're drinking beer. Did you notice what was on the beer?
I noticed what was on the beer. But it was covered.
No. One of them, when he picks it up in a minute, it's not covered anymore.
So it's like an El Sol bear.
Yeah.
But this is real, though.
It is real, but it's being interacted with a supernatural creature, right? Because it's Bobby. Bobby's the one who's, because he's still there trying to get to them.
Yes! You're so right.
Yes.
Yeah. The bear is important.
He didn't pass it. Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, you're so right. So, you know, they're having two different conversations here. Like, Sam's trying to ask Dean about this, you know, should we get Bobby's contacts? And Dean's trying to complain about the fact they don't have an answer to these numbers. And they're both talking at the same time, and it's kind of infuriating. So, because Dean eventually says, like, we should go check on him. And Sam's like, Dean, do you want to call Bobby's people or not? And Dean says, why is that our job? And I was like, my dude, who else is going to do it? And like, Sam says exactly that. Like, who else is going to... We're the only ones who know.
I'm not calling anybody. If you want to, you go right ahead. I don't want to call anybody. Are you kidding me?
My guy, someone's going to have to do it. And Sam, it's going to be you. I'm sorry. You're the responsible one here.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, you're the only one who's semi-thinking clearly.
Yeah, exactly. So they hear a phone ringing in one of the bags that they have, and Dean's like, I'm not getting it. He's just being so like, he's fully concentrating on the phone, the numbers that he has, and not engaging in the fact that Bobby's dead. That's what's happening here. He's in the denial phase.
Absolutely.
So Sam picks up the phone, and there's a young girl on the other end, and she's asking for Bobby Singer, and Sam's like, no, I'm a friend of his. And she's like, well, my dad asked me to call Bobby Singer specifically. And Sam says, well, he's not here. And then she just hangs up. And while this phone exchange is taking place, like, Dean picks up a flask that was in the duffel bag and, like, sniffs it and then puts the lid back on and puts it back. And that's important. It is. Remember that for another time, not this episode.
Not this episode, but also the placement of it, because it's right next to his beer.
Oh, yes. It's right next to the bear.
Yep.
So Dean asks who it is, and Sam says, it's just some kid. And, they don't know who it was. Dean picks up the beer that Sam just handed him from the table, and it's like, it's full at the moment. So they talk some more about this. They think, maybe she's a hunter's kid. Like, maybe, and Sam's like, we should go check it out. We can find out who she is. Like, it's super easy. And Dean's like, no, I need to go talk to Frank. And they have this kind of back and forth of like, we should go talk to her, we should go talk to him. And then Dean's like, fine, we'll split up. You go find the Girl Scout, I'll find Frank. And Sam agrees, but he says, if Frank is just spinning his wheels, then you bail out and come and meet me. And he's like, fine.
Yeah.
Dean goes to drink his like full beer, and it's empty now. And he's just like, thanks for drinking my entire beer. And Sam's like, I didn't drink your beer. Like, mine's here. You probably drank without noticing. And yeah.
Oh, that's a bit of a dig, isn't
it? You were so right about the brand of beer. I did not clock that. I clocked what it was, and I was like, oh, they've chosen a wrong moment to have this beer. But no, you're right. It's the right moment. Right. So Sam rocks up at this apartment. It's like one of those places that's on just sort of rolling month contract. So somewhere temporary, Yeah. He knocks on the door. There's a girl answers, but the chain is on the door. And he's like, we spoke earlier. He introduces himself. And when she asks how he found her, he says, your dad is in Bobby's address book. And she's like, where is Bobby? And he's like, he passed away. She introduces herself then as Chrissy. And Sam is doing his Sam shtick of like puppy dog eyes. Like, I get it, you don't let strangers in, but like if your dad said you could trust Bobby, then you can trust me too. And they do that whole thing where they have to shut the door and do the chain, so he thinks that she was just like, but she lets him in. But she does say that she's got 911 on speed dial, so like, don't try anything.
So I think she was on a box for most of the scenes with Sam, because she is really like quite tall in comparison, but I'm like, no way. He was just too tall to be like in the same frame. Yeah.
I agree Totally agree with that, like a little
Which
ramp.
That's the only reason why, like, she was with Dean is not the only reason why, because stories, but like visually they couldn't have them both walking together because she's just too small.
She's just too beautiful. Aww. That's sweet. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Oh. So Chrissy's like, "You're a salesman too," and Sam just says, "Yep." He says, "So your dad's on the road right now, been gone a while," and she's like, "Yeah, he usually calls every night, but it's been 5 days." And Sam says, "You know, it's just you and him. I know how that is. Look, sometimes on the road, crap happens, so I'll help you track him down." So he's trying to empathize with her. He doesn't know if she knows that he's a hunter.
Yeah.
But he's trying to be like, I get your situation. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
He's good. Sam's good at this stuff, I feel.
Yeah.
So she says he was looking at leads in Dodge City. Sam asks if he could see his stuff, and she takes him to another room. He doesn't want her to see him snooping around because obviously he doesn't know that if she knows about monsters and stuff. So he asks her to go put on some coffee, and she like clocks him, but she's like, fine.
Yep.
He looks all around. Eventually, he finds in the back of and they do this shot both times, which are really like exactly the same way with him and Dean, which I thought was really funny. Of him opening the closet and then moving the shirts out the way from the bag. And he finds like a hunter conspiracy board, just like theirs.
Yep.
All about like truckers going missing in this certain place. He goes back and talks to Chrissy, and he's just like, "I'm leaving," and asks if he can borrow a framed picture of her and her dad, which I assume that he loses, by the way. She looks like she doesn't want him to take it. It looks sentimental.
I mean, I guess it's one of their only pictures together, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. She kind of looks like, I don't want you to take that. And then I feel like he does lose it. So I feel kind of bad for her.
Or it's covered in blood, one of the two.
Right. And then, then I get it back.
No. Hopefully it's a digital one so they can just reprint it, but probably not because it's 2012.
Yeah, things about that didn't really happen back then.
No.
Sam leaves her with a number. He's like, "In case you don't hear from me in the next couple of days," and says, "Don't worry, I promise I'll check in." And she's like, "Don't say that. That's what my dad said." So yeah, this is Sam taking on the role of father responsibility. Papa. You know. Papa. He is Papa Summer. Because I think Sam's very self-sufficient. So I think losing a father figure that he feels like he can't replace, because, you know, he kind of replaced John with Bobby for good. Yeah. You know, that was a good thing to do. And now Dean's in no position to parent him. So he needs to do it himself. And I think this is Sam doing it himself. And I think this is actually a turning point for Sam in kind of a bit more independence, I feel, so. Bobby dying. Yeah. Because I don't think he actually ever goes back to kind of relying on maybe Dean as much again.
I think so too. I think it's also because he's seeing how much Dean is breaking throughout the beginning of this season. And then like Bobby's death is not helping. And so he's just like, well, my brother's not here anymore. I can't do anything about that. So I have to look out for number one. Yeah. And number one isn't Dean anymore.
And we've said it before, but Sam's he is a good leader. And although he had kind of got a taste of that in the first sort of 4 seasons of being, you know, demon boy.
True.
I think it's now when he kind of comes into his own of like, oh, I can do this. I can fill Bobby's shoes. I actually do have the capability to do this. I'm a good hunter in my own right. I don't actually need anybody else to help me.
I agree. And I thought it was kind of interesting that like Dean is so wrapped up in his revenge. It doesn't even cross his mind that Sam's going off on his own and like he still has Lucifer hanging around. Like I know a lot of that has just sort of been put to the wayside. Yeah. And like we're not touching that right now, but like it does feel like, you know, after the massive blow up of them splitting and like now he's just like, I don't care. Like, I'm focusing on this thing. You go do whatever the hell you want, but this is what I'm doing.
But that does blow up in his face in this episode because Sam nearly gets killed.
That's true.
You know?
Oh god, I kind of hate that.
Yeah.
That they, because every time they separate, I think you've said this before.
Yeah.
Every time they separate, something happens to one of them where they almost die, and then they're like, oh no, but now we can never be apart because if we are, then one of us will always almost die. And it's like,
and
no.
It continues to be true.
Yeah.
You know? So,
yeah.
But I like Sam's I like Sam's newfound independence. You know, he's girl bossing it.
Yes.
I appreciate that for him.
He is.
And yeah, he stumbles a bit, but ultimately, I think he probably would have got out of the situation without Dean. I think he just somehow would have done it, and I'm not sure how, but I think that he would have done.
Yeah, because he's not like properly tied to that chair, right? Like he's kind of tied to that chair, but like he's a giant. He can get out of that chair. He's gonna be fine.
He's a huge boy. So Dean, on the other hand, is going to find Frank. They do the same thing they did when they first meet Frank, where they like pull guns on each other. And it's just okay. And he's like,
Frank, we're amongst friends here. Okay, acquaintances.
That's just what a Leviathan would say.
So he's just as paranoid as he's always been, but now he thinks that they really are coming to get him, the Leviathans, because they presumably know all about the fact that he's been helping them.
Do you think they know that? I think it's not until this episode that they know that Frank's been helping them.
I think so too. I think he is paranoid.
Yep. And then he gets his face on camera with Dean, and then that's just screwed.
Like, the thing is, like, if you're going to be real paranoid, but like, be smart. Wear a mask. Yeah. Why were they not wearing masks to go do that thing that they were doing? Or at least like a hefty mustache, you know? Like,
yeah, something. Frank was definitely better than Sam and Dean in this situation. Like, we spoke about it in the Ghost episode with the two sisters, that like, at least they're in hard hats and a boiler suit, and like, nobody's going to look at them rather than I'm pulling up in some muscle car from the 60s.
I mean, honestly. Yeah, I don't feel like Frank covers himself enough though in this episode still, considering he thinks they're going to be out. It's because that's the problem. He thinks they're already after him, and they're not. And if you assume that, then you don't take the proper precautions to make sure that they don't come after you.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So we come back and Dean's like, look, I'm not a Leviathan. Frank's like, of course, that's what a Leviathan would say. Oh no, he's already said that. He's like, oh sure, you're not a Leviathan. Dick Roman's not a Leviathan. Gwyneth Paltrow's not a Leviathan. And the look that like Dean gives is like, yeah. It's like, trust me. I love the digs that some like they make at certain people.
It's great.
So Dean's like, look, you've just been doing too much research. Like, they're not everywhere. Like, you're going a bit cuckoo bananas on this one. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, you know that they bleed black blood, and I don't. And Frank then points the gun at his foot. He's like, no, let's take the guns out of it. So he ends up just like cutting his arm. Mm-hmm. And then he hands the knife over to Frank. And he's like, oh, no, look, obviously he's like, fair is a fair, douchebag. And he cuts his, like, just above his thumb.
Can we just talk about the terrible hygiene practices?
Right? He just wipes it on his sleeve to wipe off the blood. Yeah, Dean. Like, you're the one who says you hate witches because they deal with bodily fluids. What?
And he cuts himself, like, he cuts his arm with it and then cleans it on his sleeve, hands it to Frank. Like, this is how we get, like, you know, diseases. Don't do that.
Very easily.
Very easily. Do not do that. And then he has the same motion of wiping on his sleeve and puts it back in his pocket. And you know he didn't take that out later and like put antiseptic on it. You know he didn't.
Nope. It was gross.
Yeah.
And it's just gross.
Yeah.
And gross. Like, God was working his butt off to keep them like alive with how unhygienic these boys are.
Yeah.
Gross. So then Frank tells him to grab his gun and go with them and like don't make any noise, which I think is hilarious because they're again in a muscle car, so like one of the loudest cars that's out there.
Like,
you might as well be on a Harley Davidson at that point.
I do love it. Like, don't make any noise. It makes that kind of like popping noise as well. Like the I love it. It's great, but like also, yeah, amazing.
Yeah. So they've driven to like a barn that contains a trailer, and Dean asks,
Why the downsize?
You. Hey, Frank, go dig up some dirt on Richard Roman. That night, I was burned off every IP I had.
Dean confirms that people are watching Frank, and he's like, do I look like I know? Easiest way to like make sure. He's very much self-aware that he knows he's not quite right. Because he knows he has like bipolar with delusional ideations. But like, yeah, he didn't cover himself enough.
Yeah.
So Dean's asking if there's any updates on the big mouths, and they're everywhere. You know, they're looking at bankers, military high-ups, and Dean's like, so why didn't you call me? And he's like, well, it's been 4 days. Clearly, that is part of his like mental illness, is that he loses track of time.
Yeah.
Because he's like, no, it's been 4 weeks. He's like, really? What? No. Days, weeks, whichever. It doesn't matter. And this is where you find out that they actually paid him for his service as to find all of this information. It's not done for free. And Dean says,
Dick Roman is every card in my hit deck. You understand that? Those numbers, they got something to do with him, okay? Bobby died for those numbers.
Frank's not sorry that he's dead. He doesn't really care.
No. He's got bigger fish to fry kind of thing, you know? There's other stuff on his plate.
He then tries to get into some sort of like war story between them, and Frank's like, no, I'm not going to play this one time with Bobby crap. I'm not getting all warm and fuzzy with somebody who barely knew him. And Frank says, oh, I'm just trying to have a friendly conversation. He says, this is not a friendship, Frank. I'm paying you.
True.
And Frank's like, you know what you need? A little LSD. like this is the second time Frank is like in their like interactions that he's offered Dean drugs.
I mean, he's
for
not,
like their situation.
He's not wrong. Maybe it would help. You know, they say microdosing is like really good.
Yeah. But he's not I mean, he did say like a little LSD, so maybe it is microdosing, but like, I'm not microdosing with Frank. He's going to let you go too far.
No, we don't trust Frank. Frank's not a safe, capable pair of hands.
No. Dean goes to leave, and Frank's like, okay, hang on. Like, you want to know about those numbers? They're not lottery numbers. They're not licensed. He's like, yeah, I know that, Frank. Thank you. And he's like, well, then it's now to do probability generate. And Dean's like, what are you talking about? And essentially, he's like, well, if it's not all of these, then that must mean there's a missing number. So then they go through the computer, or he goes through and says like, well, I found like we didn't have to go that far. We only had to go up to 6. And it's still the wrong number. Yes. Because it's instead of ending in a 5, it's a 3. Because then it leads to coordinates. So I'm like, is it still the same thing? Is it still going to be coordinates if it was a 5?
I don't know. I don't know enough about coordinates. Like,
none of it.
Yeah, I don't.
Because it did lead to something, so it is. They're still going to get information, but I don't know if it's the right information.
Right.
Bobby wanted to have.
I can't remember if this is right or not. Or yeah, I'm not sure. But you're right. They find something, so it does lead to something. But yeah, that is the wrong number.
Because obviously Frank only cares so much.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to go further than that. He found a connection, and that's good enough.
Yes, that's so true.
If it was somebody who like really knew Bobby, do you think they would go further?
I don't think they would. I mean, you find something that's connected to the Leviathans out of a number that was already the probability of finding it was really low. It would look like he found it. I don't think he would go any further.
That's true. And especially if you did go further, because it is only 2 more digits, like, would you just assume that?
Yeah.
it was encompassed. I don't know. Interesting.
It is.
Interesting thought experiment. But so it turns out these are coordinates to a field in Wisconsin. It is kind of amazing that Frank has got all of this information and he still didn't think to even call them yet. Like, I don't know what he was waiting on. Maybe he wanted to do the surveillance on his own.
I think he'd forgotten that he'd done it.
Oh, you think so?
I do. I think his brain is so working like a million miles a minute that it's like, oh, I must call them. But wait, there's this other thing. And then he comes back to it's like, oh yeah, I have to tell Dean about that. Oh, wait, but what about this? Like, that's how my brain works. So I think that's how Frank's brain works.
I also 100% get that. Especially if it's something that, like, I just don't really want to do.
That too. He doesn't really like Dean.
Turns out that this patch of land in Cheeseville, which is Wisconsin, because they make cheese out there, is a parcel of land that Dick Roman Enterprises just bought. And then so Dean's like, so what do we do now? And he's like, stay away. You know, we're stupid. We'll go there and set up surveillance. And clearly they are.
Yeah.
Stupid. So we then cut back to Sam and he's pulling out a body. There's a coroner who pulls out a morgue attendant, I guess. A body, and you can see all these like bite marks across his body, on his neck and his thigh. And Sam's like, so it was some kind of animal attack, and the attendant just says, or a vampire.
Love that.
And the assistant's like, that usually gets at least a chuckle, and Sam gives like a really strange smile.
Yeah. It's like, it's not funny though, is it? You know? It's the same reason they hate Halloween. It's like, it's not funny. Yeah. This is our reality, man. We can't tell you that.
I also feel like he's kind of lost his sense of humor a little bit, only because like of everything else is going on right now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like in a normal situation, he would have chuckled along just because it's like, it is, to normal people, it is funny. But like, and he knows that he has to laugh about it. But like in this situation, he just can't bring himself to, because like there's a little girl who potentially has lost her dad.
Yeah.
Like his dad is now dead twice over. You know, it's like there's just things that are like happening in his life right now that like he's not picking up on social cues.
Yeah. I can even hear the little sounds like, huh, yeah. You know, like he could have done it. You're so right. You're so right. Yeah. Oh, poor Sam. He's so sad.
Poor Sam. Yeah. So it goes between Sam and Dean talking about the coordinates, and Sam's like, wait, you're not going to go up there yourself? And he's like, relax, it's a field, not the Death Star. You know, Dick's at a TED conference, it's all over the Huffington Post. And he's like, wait, since when do you read? He's like, know your enemy, Sam. He asked for an update on the girl. Sam doesn't think that she knows that her dad's in the life. We don't find out that's not true. She does know.
Yeah.
And that he's got 3 missing truckers and 1 blood-free body. And he's just like, cool, keep me posted.
Yeah. So I think that Dean just automatically assumes this is vampires and that like Sam can take care of it. I don't know why. I'm just like, I think he just makes so many assumptions in this episode. He's like, yeah, be fine.
Yeah. I mean, because he has to like reason it. Otherwise, I guess the difference between them separating and now is that they're checking in with each other, right? They're having a phone conversation about what's going on. Whereas before, Sam wasn't answering his phone.
Yeah. So
that's probably the main difference between why he's okay with them doing separate things. But yeah, I don't know. Dean, you got to care a bit more.
He just doesn't.
But then again, he's been caring of his whole life, so maybe he's just like, oh, I can't no more.
He is kind of done. Like, he had that whole speech about like, well, the world, you know, keeps trying to drive itself towards a cliff, and why am I stopping it? And I think some of that is like, well, Sam keeps getting himself into these situations.
Yeah. And like, how many vampires have they killed? Way too many. Yeah. So like, sure. Yeah. Well, maybe he doesn't want to think about vampires either, since, you know, he was turned into one for a brief moment in time.
I don't know. I feel like it's over there. I feel like it's over it.
Yeah, he probably is. He probably is. You're right about that. Yeah. So Dean is like in the barn outside of the trailer. It's actually really smart to put a barn in a trailer because like you can't see it from the outside or like overhead and
Yeah,
stuff.
so true.
Yeah. So Frank comes out of the trailer and he's like, come on, come get your costume on. We've got a scoot. And he's like, costume? What?
I mean, he should be hyped because Dean loves a little costume.
He does. Yes. And surprisingly, obviously it's because it's Jensen. He looks good in everything. But like surprisingly, a boiler suit doesn't look that bad on him.
It makes me think, I can't see him in a boiler suit without thinking about My Bloody Valentine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Even though it's a different colour, I'm just like, yeah, it's still that movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's, forever. Forever and always. So they get to the field and Dean's asking the obvious question, like, what's so special about this place? And Frank's like, I love a mystery. Now get up into the cherry picker and act like you're fixing something.
I don't know how to drive that thing. You think I do? Well, why do I gotta be the sap that...
This one says manager, that one says technician.
Love that so much.
And like Dean like cautiously walks up the like ladder thing part of the cherry picker.
I realised at this point that part of the reason he doesn't like flying, I think Dean's scared of heights.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I do.
I think so too.
And now I'm like, I need to look out for this more as we watch Supernatural, like when they're up high. I think he's genuinely scared of heights.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Because he is making like noises as he's like raising this thing up, and he's like not really work it, like he can't really do it.
Yeah.
And while Frank is like looking through some binoculars, he sees a whole bunch of surveillance cameras, and eventually it points to one which is pointed directly at them. Probably because it's the only service road, so of course they would watch who's coming up.
the laser effect on these cameras. What was this? What were these CGI ass cameras like?
We need to show their field of vision without showing what their field of vision is, and it's lasers.
They weren't even real cameras, they were just CGI. Like, how hard would it be to find in a like studio lot an old security camera just to like get a picture of? And it was awful. I'm sorry, but it was awful. I know it's only for like a brief shot, but I was like, this is bad CGI.
Yeah. It wasn't good. It was not good. And as soon as Dean gets to like the top of where he needs to be, Frank's like, all right, come down, Tarzan. Like he just got up there. This place is wide up the wazoo. And he's like, they're watching us now? He's like, nah, they're watching like something else. I don't know how he would know that, but...
Yeah. No,
okay.
he's sarcastic.
Oh.
Yeah, he's like, they're watching Cheech and Ed. And he's like, of course they're watching us. That's the unsaid thing of that.
True.
Yeah.
True. So they're going to tap into their security because there's already cameras, so why add their own? So they're now back in his trailer. And Frank says he looks horrible. And I'm like...
This is so funny
he
to me.
really doesn't, though. He's like super tan.
Yeah.
He's got no bags under his eyes. He looks perfectly fine.
This is the absolute... Right, this is the one thing that Jensen Ackles can't do, is look terrible on camera. So but he's like, you look awful, shot to like Dean looking like an absolute like male model sat in that.
Right. I was going to say that maybe the only time he looked a little bit rough was in Heart, but even then it wasn't that bad.
Still looked fine. Like, honestly,
right?
He found the thing he can't do. They always talk about how perfect he is, can do anything that he wants, can do. Sing, act, play the guitar. This is it.
Dance.
Can't look bad on camera. What a curse to have.
Right. That's the next convention question for DJs. Like, actually, we found something that he's not good at.
The worst way of wording that is, we found something you're better at. No, to be fair, I've never known DJs look bad on camera either. I can't think of a time.
Not without being covered in like prosthetics, yeah.
Yeah, so. Yeah.
True. So he asked, when was the last time he had some sleep, and he's like, just get to work, and they're going to watch the screens, and Dean immediately has fallen asleep. Yeah. We hear like Dean's phone ring, like vibrating in his pocket, and Sam leaves a message saying that like he's hunting a Vitala, that John took one out back in the day with Silver Knight. You twist and then they're done. He even says that they're maladjusted loner types, which we find out is not true. And so that they take him home, drain him, and so Chrissy's dad might still be alive. And he asks for his help and says, "Call me." Sam then goes to the diner where the dad was, which we still don't know his name, right?
He's called Lee.
Okay. And he asks the waitress about the guy, and he's like, "Yeah, I might have seen him, served him the other day," and points at the woman outside. And he's like, "Yeah, I saw her, like him talking to her." And he's like, "Thanks," and then leaves. She then walks away. Her name is Sally, presumably because she has a necklace with the name Sally on it. And and she's like, she's acting all scared, like she's like, and also that she has information about something that's happening. And he's like, "Tell me what you saw." He's like, "I don't know what I saw." He then hears Marlene, which is the waitress, approach behind, and then they both attack because he's like, "Sally, run!" And then she's also a monster.
Whoa.
Oh no!
Who could have foreseen this? Also, why do you leave a message saying, "I need your help on this," and then go and hunt the monster?
Well, he doesn't know. He went to where
Yeah, you're right. But also he went to the place where he disappeared. So like,
but
there's a problem.
They don't know that's where he disappeared from.
Yeah, okay, fine.
But he did. But also, you're not wrong, because he went to a trucker stop, and all of the people who have disappeared / died are truckers. So
I don't know. I feel like he should have waited. I just feel like he should have waited before going any further. But then, like Dean says, he thinks he's just in with one monster, and like Sam can usually just deal with, he's pretty good at his job.
True.
He's probably better than Dean. Let's be real. Like I think he's a better hunter than Dean.
I think so too. Yeah, because he takes care of himself. Like he eats right, he exercises, and does all of those things. Yeah,
he gets thrown into walls way less than Dean.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's on par. Like it's similar, but they like to throw Dean around. Basically.
He's smaller, less effort from the like.
Smaller.
I know.
So back at Frank's trailer, house, place, wherever they are, I don't know where they are. They're looking, Dean wakes up and he's like, "Ugh, how long was I out?" And Frank says, "Oh, about 36 hours. And he's like, "What? What? Why did you wake me?" Frank says, "Not your butler. Come see this." So he initially zooms in on a parked car in which two people are like making out because it's like a side road. And Dean says, "You need to get out more." And he's like, no, not that. And then he shows this woman in like a lab coat and a hard hat. Like, who wears a lab coat? Whatever she's wearing to a field. No one does. There's no point. She's carrying documents in a walkie-talkie, and he says, "Check out Sarah Palin." And I kind of love that joke doesn't work anymore. Like, where is she? What happened to Sarah Palin? Who knows?
Yeah, but I mean, the woman really does look like Sarah Palin, though. I mean, I think it's just the thin face and the dark hair, but there you go.
It's like her. It wasn't any accident they cast this person.
Yeah, no.
So he found out her name is Amanda Willer. She's from Roman Enterprises. And when Dean's like, "What was she doing?" He says, "Being a naughty, bossy little girl." Frank. Discuss that. And Dean's like, "Well, I
know you just saw two people making out in a car, like, but come on, man.
Come on, man." It's just, Dean says, "Well, I hate to ask for that in the non-porno version." And he's just like, "Well, they're surveying it. They're getting ready to build something, but we don't know what, essentially."
Well, how do we find out?
We watch. Patience, grasshopper.
Patience and me aren't exactly on terms.
like, well, know thyself, you know?
Yeah.
So Frank says, go out and kill something or whatever you kids do to blow off steam. You don't like my suggestion? And Dean says, I don't think you're in a position to be giving suggestions. I think you're one tinfoil hat away from a rubber room. And Frank just again throws at him like, did I mention you look awful? They do the same camera shot back to him and I'm like, he still doesn't look bad. He still doesn't look bad.
No, he still doesn't. He still
like, at least add
really
some
good.
makeup under his eyes or something. Do something because
Right. So
you need to try.
Exactly. So, like I said, I've been watching Bones, and there was an episode I just watched. She's been up for 3 days, and obviously it's somewhat easier on women because they're made up and everything.
Yeah.
So basically, what they did by the 3rd day, like her makeup is like faded, so she looks really tired. Like they put the wrong basically foundation to make her more pale, but they didn't do anything like that for him. Nothing.
Wild.
Like, it didn't even like ruffle his hair in a horrible way,
Yeah, like, come on.
Like he doesn't look greasy. He doesn't like he's been asleep for 36 hours. He should actually look rough.
He should look rough. We need like the chapped lips, the dark circles, like just just cutting his cheekbones, just something, man. I don't know. Maybe they tried and they were like, it's just not working. He's just too perfect.
Like then, I was gonna say then make him grow out his beard, but even like in The Boys when he had that like huge beard going on, it still looked really good.
This is so funny to me. Like I can't explain how much I laughed when they did the camera shot to him and he just looks like perfectly fine. Okay. So, Frank does say, did I mention you look awful? And he says, yes, maybe because somebody I cared about just got shot in the head. And this is like shoving a rock up the hill and screw you. Frank just says, this is my advice you didn't ask for. Quit. And he's like, what? I want Dick Roman on a spit. And Frank says, but you're going to drive yourself into the ground first? Good plan. It's very curt. This like, Frank is just... He doesn't care about Dean. Like, he doesn't really. No. He's just like, I need to say whatever I need to say to get this guy out of my hair, I feel.
Yeah. Like, go away if you're not going to be helpful.
Mm-hmm. So, Dean says, I'm not going to quit. It's not even an option. I'm not going to walk out on my brother. You can't use Sam as an excuse, Dean. He's off hunting monsters by himself. I know he's doing it badly, but he's doing it. He's trying. And then Frank says, okay, fine, do what I did. And then he gives his whole backstory. So he says, like, when he was 26, he came home, found his wife and 2 kids gutted on the floor. And then he basically decided that he was going to be fine until the end of the week.
So fake it? I call it being professional. Do it right. With a smile. Or don't do it.
I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of almost the same advice that Bobby gave, but like badly, because Bobby was like, you got to get your head straight or you're going to get killed. You got to, I know Bobby wasn't saying like fake it till you make it kind of thing, but he was saying that he can't keep being unprofessional almost,
Yeah, because his unprofessionalism is going to get him and Sam killed. Yeah.
So I thought it was really interesting. I hate that Dean takes us on board. I hate it. There is also an aspect of this. This does help me sometimes. The fake it till you make it thing in the short term does work.
Right. I was going to say, you do it for one when you're on the case.
Yeah.
But they're always on a case.
They're always on a case. There's no downtime to like fall apart. Yeah. You need that bit in between, I feel. But to be always on this, I'm interested. I don't remember this aspect of the season, and I'm interested to see how this plays out in the next few episodes of this whole like Dean faking being fine. I mean, he does it already so well, like it's only lately that he's let the mask slip. Like he's been more openly drinking. He's been pretty belligerent, to be honest, and just generally depressed, to the point that Sam and Bobby have had words with him about like, are you okay? Where normally we know he's not fine, but he kind of covers it in his like, I'm a funny guy mask, you know?
Yeah.
And this is just Frank saying that you need to put your mask back on, which is really sad.
That's true. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You know?
Because you're right, he has let it slip with the whole, no, I don't care that I don't care. Like, the world is trying to kill itself, and the world keeps trying to drive the bus off the cliff, and we keep saving it. Like, he wouldn't express those to Sam and Dean. I feel like he would do that to Cass. Yeah. But he wouldn't say it Sam and Dean. Sam and Bobby. But he would express that to Cass. But since he has no other outlet, he has no other friends who... Because Cass gives him a perspective outside of the human experience.
Yes, right.
So he can just be like, well, you know, you're a little human, so what does it matter?
And
whereas everybody else is a little human, so he can't take on board what they're saying, kind of thing.
I just beg everyone, just remember this pattern. Every time Cass dies or leaves, this same exact spiral happens. Not always in the same way, but it's just a downward little spiral that Dean does, and then Cass comes back and he's like, I'm me again. And it's like, I'm not saying that it's significant. I am saying it's significant. It definitely matters to their relationship. Yeah. And it's also extremely unhealthy.
Yeah. Like, he was realizing he was losing Sam to... I think he could start to see that Sam was a better hunter than him, and like that Sam would eventually be okay without him.
Exactly.
And so he was panicking and was like, oh no, I need to trauma bond with somebody. I need to imprint.
He definitely imprinted on Cass like a little baby duck.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's interesting because I think if you were doing like a shallow reading of Supernatural, you may not have noticed this point that the mask is on. Yeah. Whereas Frank's outright saying like, this is what Dean is doing, which I like that they call it out. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
So Dean hears Sam's recorded message because he's decided, you know, he is going to go hunt something because Frank doesn't have any information at this time. Talking about the Vitala that, you know, John took one down back in the day, and Dean's like, no, Sam's not right. And Frank's like, what's going on? And Dean's just like, you know, hearing out the rest of the message, and then he gets a call while he's listening to that. When he answers it, it's Chrissy saying, Sam? Of course it's Dean, and she says, you know, Sam told me to call if I didn't hear anything back from him. And Dean's like, oh crap. Yep. We see Sam waking up. He's tied to a chair. Classics. We're back. We haven't had any tied to a chair in a while.
This is true. Yeah. No, we have not.
There are some like bodies in the room, but there's also Lee, Chrissy's dad, in the chair next to him. And he explains what's going on. He says, the ringing in your ears, that's from the venom. He's like, yeah, you know, they hit you with some kind of knockout juice. And you seem to be handling this pretty well. I mean, Sam, yeah, he's been hit with everything. Like, I feel like he has some kind of resistance to everything at this point.
So I think Lee is assuming he's not a hunter. Like, he's just a normal guy. So him, like, saying that, like, there's all this, like, these humanoid things. I think that's what it is.
The situation rather than the venom. Yeah, no, you're right. That is how it is. So Sam's like, you know, I was looking for you. Are you Lee Chambers? And he's like, yeah. So he explains he's a friend of Bobby's, that Chrissy called him and that she's fine. She's just worried. And he's like, how do we get out of here? And he's like, I don't know. They'll be back here pretty quick. You know, they agree that there's the two of them. You know, one of them knocks you out. The other one dumps your rig or your ride. And it's, you know, they're working pretty well as a team. They are both, so Sam's got a big bite on his neck and Lee does as well. So Sam asks if they've been feeding off of him. And he's like, yeah, they tap you 3-4 times and you're dead. And let me tell you, you can't see, you can't walk. I thought they'd kill me right off, but they don't have to. They've got nothing to worry about. And then Sam asks how many times they fed on him. He's like, 3. So the next time that they feed on him, he's probably going to die.
Yeah, that's the implication. So I've missed this line from Lee saying that, like, one of them takes your rig while the other one, like, drags you off. because that actually becomes pretty important for Chrissy and Dean's hunt.
Yeah.
Because she has read all the information, so she knows that, and that's why she points it out.
Yeah, exactly. So, she's pretty good. Like, Chrissy's a decent hunter.
Mm-hmm.
So Dean goes to Chrissy's apartment, and like we cut to him being straight there, trying to get information from her. You know, where did Sam go? The fact that he checked her dad's room, and instead of sending her to go get coffee, he's like, look, straight up. I'm saying go wait in the living room. Your dad may not want you to know every single thing about him. And she's like, huh. She's just like the teenage lean.
Yes.
Yeah. And Dean goes to the closet, finds the same information, except the map is completely gone. There's just like a corner left. And he's like, where is it? And she says, you mean everything about the job my dad was working? And Dean's like, Sam said you didn't know.
Sam seemed competent. So I figured, fine, I'll do what my dad always tells me to. Be a regular kid. Don't say anything. Stay out of the line of fire. Let the adults work it out. So much for that.
And this is where I was like, this is Dean. This is Dean.
Yeah.
Because she's been brought into the life really young, just like him, clearly. But, you know, she can pretend to be a regular kid. Dean did that quite a lot as well.
True.
And she's playing the adults, and you know that Dean did that as well, like manipulating the adults around her.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dean's just like, look, hand it over, I've had a long week. And she pulls out a gun and points at him. And he says, you know, I get it. You know, you're a tough kid. I'm trying to get Sam and your dad back. And this is when she says, my dad left and he didn't come back. And I was like, oh, my heart. So Sam left and he didn't come back. I give you the info, you leave and you don't come back. I'm like, that's pretty sound logic. I'll be, you know.
It is. Yeah.
Because she's got no one else to call after this, you know. And Dean assures her, like, I'm coming back. And she's like, yeah, I'm coming with you. He doesn't agree to that. Of course, he's like, no, you can't come with me. Like, you're a kid. And she says, I'm coming or you're not going. And he just, like, very easy, just like whaps the gun out of her hand. It's like just like a flap of the hand.
I mean, it is a grown adult versus a teenage girl. It was always going to happen.
Yeah. I get the implication is he could have just done it at any time, but he still let her, like, talk to him, you know? So he demands that she hands over all the information, and she's like, I burn it. And she's like, lucky for you, I memorized it first. Well, you know.
Did you really, though? I reckon she wrote it down somewhere else.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, how much information could it have been, though, you know? I feel like you covered good. True. But, that's pretty good. So they're in the car. I always get, like, I just want it to be the Impala, but it's got a different noise. This, like, Dodge. It's like, rather than the brum brum. I don't know. And she's like, I have a question. And Dean just turns and is like, look, I'm a fun guy. I'm actually awesome, okay? It's like, but right now, I'm not in the mood. It's like, I'm neck deep in some serious crap, and if this wasn't an emergency, I would drop your ass off at the nearest mall. And he is normally pretty good with kids, to be fair to Dean.
Yeah.
So for him to be so grouchy is out of character. So she asks what crap, and he's like, revenge crap, all right? Now shut up and eat a cookie or something. She goes to put her headphones in and then, like, decides that she's still going to annoy him. She's like, one thing doesn't make sense. You know, my dad's a pretty great hunter, and your brother's the size of a car. I love that line. So she asks, how did this thing get both of them? And Dean drops the law. He's like, Vitala's hunt in pairs. Sam and your dad both assumed it was one thing hunting solo, because they had the wrong info or the best available. And there's an unspoken, like, if only Bobby was here, you know? Yeah. He would have known that, and they would have asked him that Vitala's work in pairs. And Lee would have called Bobby because he knows him. He's in his phone book, you know? Right. So he says, you know, our dad took down a loner years ago. Sam has his journal, and your dad must have been going off the same facts. And Chris is like, you know different? He's like, yeah, I hunted one that turned out to be two a couple of years back. And she's like, you never told Sam? Wow. Right. He says Sam was away at Stanford, smart ass. And she's really like, whoa, you know, you guys are hunters, but Sam went to college. And he says, you know, we were. Sam quit, went to college. And And he's like, you could do that too, you know, be a hunter or be a hunter / pediatrician.
I love that line.
I really like this conversation
Yeah.
because first of all, it shows how flawed John was, that he wasn't a great hunter because he has the wrong information in his journal, and then never updated it after Dean took out 2 Vitalas, and you know John was still around at that point. The fact that Dean was solo hunting by himself while Sam was at Stanford as well, it kind of drops more of that lore, and you know that he got like hurt during this hunt, I feel, because he remembers it.
Yeah.
And the fact that, you know, he can see in this kid that she's going exactly the same path that he did, but he assures her that there's something else that she could do. Even though it didn't work out for Sam, she could still try and get out of the life.
Yeah.
I don't know. And this is him not being John, like actively, you know, he's trying to, I said at the beginning.
This is him being Mary.
Yeah, right. It's like he's talking to his younger self. And this is why Chrissy is Dean in this episode. He's talking to his younger self, like, you could get out, right? It's not too late. You can do it. Also, don't trust what the adults say because they get it wrong. You know, they thought it was 1 and it's 2, and you don't know what else they're getting wrong. That's the subtext there. So back in the abandoned building where Sam and Lee are tied up, Sally comes in and she's like, Hunter Day, the all you can eat. How's everyone feeling? Good? So she's just like taunting them. And Sam kind of tries to taunt her because she's going to go feed on Lee, and he knows that if she does, he's going to die. So he's like, oh, you know, did you hear about the Talas I took down in Utah? You remind me of them, except they were so much younger. You know, he tied them up and it took his time. And she's like, you're lying. So he manages to bait her into biting him instead of Lee. And you see, like, he has this weird daze thing that you get because they're venomous. Like, as they bite you, you go into some kind of venom trance. I don't know how venom works.
Yeah, it's kind of like a bug bite.
Yeah.
You know how, like, a mosquito, you don't feel it because of the whatever, the thing that makes it itch.
At the diner, Dean and Chrissy are in this car. And Dean's asking if she's ever been on a hunt with her dad, and she's like, yeah, sure. And she's like, no. He's like, no. Have you hunted, like, not just shoot cans in the woods? And she just says, I help all the time. So no, she hasn't.
She has not. Yeah, no.
Yeah. He's like, right, you know, so well, right now your stomach should be pretty knotted up. And she says, not really. Maybe this is a lot harder for you when you were my age.
When she said that, I was like, no, he'd been hunting for 10 years at that point. He was absolutely rock solid. Like, nah.
He wouldn't have cared. Like, Dean was so young. And this is why he's protecting this kid, because he's like, no, I do know what it's like. Yeah.
Yeah. And so this is where I was like, this is more like Sam's kind of.
Yeah.
Because, Sam had also started young, but I feel like he got to have more of a childhood.
True.
Before he got into hunting.
But then, like, Dean really being really specific about, like, I know you're going to be scared. You know he was scared, and, like, the mask.
Yes.
You know?
True.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. Because he does call her out on being a good actress.
That's it. He's like, you think you're a good actress, you're not. And I'm like, Dean, do you think you're a good actress?
Do you think you're a pretty princess?
So he calls her out for being scared, and she's like, no, you know, quit treat me like some girl. I've been prepping for this my entire life.
Training's one thing. Doing, whole nother beast.
Wow, you really scared me straight. Thanks, Dean.
I kind of love Chrissy because, again, she's so snarky. Yeah. She's so Dean, and I think that's why they kind of vibe with each other at the end of this, where because he is kind of like straight talking to her, and teenagers appreciate that.
They do. They
see Marlene walking across the parking lot and getting into a truck, and she's like, "Why is that waitress getting into that truck?" And he's like, I'm not explaining that to you. She's like, no, the front of the truck, not the back, Dean. So they follow the truck. It's parked at the side of the road now. And Dean's like, yeah. And he like wants to fist bump Chrissy. He's like, yeah, we did it. And she's like, no. And he's like, no, come on, fist bump me. And he's like, you're a dweeb. And eventually she finally gives in, like fist bumps him, and he like grabs her wrist and handcuffs her to the steering wheel.
It's great.
I thought it was so funny because he was being such like a hair about it. Like,
Yeah, like the way he wiggled his wrist, like his fist even. Yeah.
loved it so much.
What's really funny is I think those older cars taking the actual steering wheel off is kind of easy. So I think it would have been really funny if she had like the steering wheel still attached to her wrist.
That would have worked. I really like that. That would have worked really, really well.
Yeah.
So she.
But I don't know enough about cars, so then maybe that's not true.
I don't know about cars. I feel like you can. I don't know. I feel like if you did it in a modern car, the airbag would like hit you in the face. If you like.
Yeah,
probably. I'm always worried about it whenever I press the button. I'm like, maybe this is the time I get my nose broken.
Maybe.
Maybe I just have anxiety.
Yeah, it could be that too.
So she cusses him out, and he's like, well, you know, I'm the jackass who ain't bringing a kid in there.
Right.
She's like, why? I can do everything you can do. He's like, look, you got to trust me. And she says, please, they're probably dead. Which is...
You know, that got under Dean's skin.
Oh, yeah. But she's so jaded. She's so, like, is teenager jaded, you know?
Yeah.
She says, you know, it's been days, probably just a pile of meat. I've seen it, people die. I watched my mum get torn to shreds. Let me go in there and kill them. And you see on Dean's face when he realizes what's happened to her, and he's just like, no, you know, definitely not now. Not with your tragic backstory. I'm not letting you in there.
Right? Exactly.
And she's like, you're such a hypocrite. How come you get to do it and I don't? And he just says, because I'm the grown-up.
That was very much a teenage line. Like, yeah.
He's always would say that to someone, I feel. I'm the grown-up now.
Damn it.
So he demands that she hands over her lockpick, which she does eventually, and he gets out of the car and walks away. He then picks the lock to enter the building. He finds Sam and Lee and like tied to chairs. There's some bodies around as well. There's another guy there too. They're like real going like buffet style.
Yeah, right.
Sam is still like being unconscious. Marlene's saying, good thing we picked up a new one. This one's about tapped out. You want to finish him together? And they're sort of next to Lee, like about to drain him. Dean grabs this like crowbar, I think it is. And he manages to whack Sally, who falls down, and then gets his knife out as the like waitress Marlene comes over to him. He's doing actually pretty well. He does get like slammed against the wall by his throat, and I'm like, always putting this man in situations like, but he manages, like, Sam wakes up, luckily, and there's this whole basically Dean had this. I feel like he had this.
Yep.
Like he totally was gonna do it. It was absolutely fine. But then Chrissy runs in and is like, Dad! And Sally grabs her and like holds her hostage.
Yep.
And of course her dad's like, no. So she comes in and makes the situation worse. And I do feel bad for her for that. Like, because Dean definitely, he had this. He was about to like stabby stab. Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, it just shows that because she hasn't been on a hunt, she is inexperienced. So she is at a point where she doesn't have to be in the life anymore.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like once you get, they kind of say it when they're in the hospital, like having one kill under your belt is like good enough. Like she doesn't need to become a hunter.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you can let this go.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. So the whole situation is, she's a hostage, and they're like, well, you're gonna die now.
Yeah.
There's no like.
Yeah, you just made this.
Sorry, go on. I was gonna say, there's no like, oh, let us go. It's like, no, we're just gonna kill you.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're the stronger people. Yeah. Two of you guys are like incapacitated. Mm-hmm. The third is not going to do anything because he values the life of a child, as you should. So Lee is really mad that, you know, what were you thinking bringing her here? I feel like if anything, that's the hypocrisy in this episode. Is like, well, what are you thinking bringing her into the life?
Yeah.
Period.
Right.
Like, she's gonna eventually get into a hunt one day. Like,
and
you think she wasn't gonna find the information and go after you by herself?
Dean does call him out on that in the hospital, right? He's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing, man?"
Basically.
Yeah.
So Sally tells Dean to drop the knife, and he does immediately. And he's like, "Look, she's just a child. Let her go." It's like, "No, I don't think we're letting anybody go." And obviously, Chrissy is very scared. He's like, "It's okay. You know, everything's going to be fine." And then Marlene is woken up from being hit on the head. And she's like, "Enough with the family bonding. It's time to shut you up." She goes then to bite Lee. And he's like, "No, Dean." Or Chrissy's like, "No, Dean." And Sally says, "Well, you can't help him now. No one can." And she has a knife in her like upper sleeve, pulls it out, turns around and stabs her and twists the knife. Presumably, did Lee know that he was hunting Vitalis? I don't know if he knew, because like the twisting was very specific to Sam's voicemail. Yeah. And I don't think Dean told her how to kill one.
I don't know. I think no, because he says that I think he did know, because he says that Sam and your dad were working off from wrong information, that they hunted alone. I think he did know what he was hunting.
Okay. Because we don't know the information that Sam saw. We just saw the truckers go missing.
And I think taking her into the situation, Dean would have told her how they die, just in case. Yeah, I think it's just good practice. Yeah.
There's also the fact that if she's been practicing, it may be just like what you do as a hunter is to turn and twist the knife. I don't know.
It was very specific about how you kill them, but I think somehow she knew the information, whether it's through the conspiracy board her dad had or whether Dean told her. For sure.
Yeah. So with Sally now dead, Chrissy goes over to Sam, releases him. He takes the knife from her and stabs Marlene in the same way. Yeah. And then Chrissy turns around and says, "Bad actress, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, I take that back." I think she just leaned into her fear, and then like, because her dad was about to be killed, like she overcame it very quickly.
And that's good acting, right? You lean into the emotion. I don't know anything about acting. Sounds right.
No. It does. So Sam and Dean go to the hospital where Lee is, and he's all like bandaged up and everything. And he says, "Yeah, I was hoping you guys would, stop by. I wanted to thank you." He's like, "No, you saved my life and Chrissy's too." And Sam's like, "Well, actually, she kind of saved ours."
Don't think us. Quit. Your daughter's 14 years old. She's already a hunter with a kill under her belt. I'm not trying to be a dick, but what do you think that does to her lifespan? She could still be a regular kid.
And Lee's like, "Well, I got in this for a reason." The men of Supernatural are so selfish.
So selfish.
Like, yes, your wife died by a horrible, horrible monster. You find out that there's other hunters in the world. Let them deal with it.
Why are you dragging your kids into this? Why? It's all about generational trauma, supernatural, breaking the cycles. We've talked about this. And part of that is dragging your kids into hunting and dealing with your revenge fetish.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. And Dean's like, "Yeah, I know, your family, the same reason why you should get out. Because you still have living family. Like your daughter is still alive, still kicking, and she almost died because you are hunting something that's got nothing to do with the thing that killed you,
and
killed your wife."
This is precisely the beef that Dean has with John, I feel, that is never fully addressed, and it could have been, because he does come back for that episode. I've been like, why? Why did you have to drag your kids into this?
Exactly.
There are actually people that he could have left them with, and then they never would have been involved,
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. Like, there was, in the episodes, like, they can retcon it now, but in seasons 1 and 2, there was nothing in those that indicated to John that, I mean, he kind of leaned into it maybe at the end of season 1 or beginning of season 2, sorry. But like in definitely season 1, we have no idea that Sam is like the reason why Mary got killed.
Right.
And like, it's not until season 2 that he's like, well, you know, Sam is evil and you might have to kill him. But like, so, but the thing is, John didn't know that information until they were much older.
Oh yeah. That he fully dragged his kids into a hunter. Like, that is his biggest failing as a father. And this is what Dean's trying to get across to Lee, is like, hey, that wasn't cool and you shouldn't do that either.
And that is the one thing that Dean has taken from John, is like, John didn't want to do it alone. And Dean doesn't want to do hunting alone. But it's like, well, the reason why you don't want to do it alone, because he's being forced to not be able to do it alone because John didn't want to do it alone. Like I said, generational trauma.
And I feel like this comes back to Jack. I feel like, and I might be wrong, and I hope this is true, what I'm saying, is that he's very reluctant to let Jack do any hunting with them.
I feel like you're right.
Because, you know, he's a kid. I know he's like a weird
he's also a kid, but
psychic kid, but
I think it was also because of that. I think it's also because he was partly a monster, and I think at that point Dean is also like, monsters are bad.
Again, for some reason. But yeah, you know. But like, let's say that, you know, they decided to carry on a storyline, and that is part of the reason why, I feel. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like this. I like it. This is them dealing with John and in their own way. And also, you know, thanking Bobby. Bobby let them be regular kids when he could, right? We saw that in the last episode about them, you know, teaching Dean to play ball and talking about the fact that he took them in the woods to learn tracking, not just like tracking monsters, because they don't ever use it now, but like, you know, just tracking like general hunting. Like teaching them the best way he knew how, you know, to pass on his skills. I love Bobby Singer, man.
I do too. I kind of hate that Lee's response to that is like, I can't, you know, anyone who's ever left the life.
And then it focuses on Dean, like, you tried.
But the thing is, Dean's situation is so much different from theirs.
If it hadn't been for his whole kerfuffle with Sam, you know, Hell, all that kind of stuff, he could have got out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And like, yeah, because the monsters were leaving him alone. They left them alone for a whole year because he had Cass and Crowley both watching his back. Because they're both in love with him.
Maybe that's what you need. Maybe that's what you need. Just like a really strained love triangle with some supernatural creatures.
Yeah. And like, I kind of get what Lee means in like that he can't, is because there is such a cycle of revenge in hunting. So like, you kill these Vitalas, well, the next set of Vitalas will get revenge on the people that kill. Like, you see that a lot as well. It's also the patterns that they see. So like, if you come across a newspaper, you're like, oh, some people have gone missing. You're like, oh crap, that's vampires. Can I leave that alone? You know? If I know that's what it is, can I leave it alone, and knowing that more people are going to get killed? And I think that's part of the reason why people stay in hunting, is that you... Because they know
Sorry.
Because they know what goes bump in the night and they have to do something about it. But again, he knew Bobby. He knew that Bobby knew other hunters. So you can be like, hey, I'm in this town. Yeah. This is here. Like, can you send some people? Obviously, Bobby's not here anymore, but he's just met Sam and Dean.
They should have like...
Though technically, they're not very good hunters in his eyes, right?
Right. That's true. They look terrible. I feel like they should have some kind of like forced retirement at like 35. It's like, look, you've done your time hunting. You're not allowed to get sent on hunts anymore. You have to answer phones and just do that. You're not allowed to go on hunts anymore. Fine.
Because they need the researchers. They need the Bobbies of the hunting world. So he could just become that instead if he wants to be involved.
This is what they don't have. Community,
right?
That's the whole issue.
I mean, the Campbells tried to do it, but their compound got destroyed. I don't know. That's kind of gone out the window now.
Yeah, shame.
Yeah. And Dean's like, well, no, we don't know anybody who's left the life because they all got killed first. Like, they didn't have the opportunity to leave.
Yeah.
Because they die young, basically. that's the end of that conversation. They decide to leave.
Yep.
As they exit the building, Chrissy runs after them.
Thanks for saying bye, asshat.
I haven't heard that in ages.
I know. It was great. And he's like, oh, what? Now you're sentimental? He's like, no. Or she's like, no, just wanted to tell you that you're kind of amusing for an old man. I love that he didn't call her out for calling him an old man, but I guess in comparison, sure. Yeah. Dean asked Chrissy how she got out of the cuffs, and she's like, girl's got to have her secrets. And he's like, it was a bobby pin, wasn't it? And he's like, yeah. But I saved your bacon, right? Basically. He says, you you could have got yourself killed. He's like, yeah, but I saved your bacon. My points still stand, but yes. Mm-hmm. So it's clear that she and her dad have had some sort of conversation, because she said, I guess I'm retiring, one and done. And he asked how she feels about that. And she's like, who knows? Maybe I'll go to Stanford like Sam. Aww. She then holds out her fist and he bumps it.
We're so lame.
Yeah, we are. Take care of yourself.
See, this is what she's doing, because it's like, we're lame. Yeah, we are. See, the same person melding. The meld happened on screen. That's my... Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
Love it.
And I think it's just like, is in character for Dean to get along with kids versus Sam, who just somehow doesn't.
He's not down with the kids. He's too like college educated. He's too cool. I don't know. He's not lame enough. Yeah. I feel like to get on with teenagers, you have to be a real cringe, and they love it.
Yeah, just like not take yourself too seriously, and I think Sam does sometimes take himself a little too seriously.
That's it, because they clock you immediately. Like, yeah, this guy thinks too much for himself. Let's bring him down.
I'll tell you what it is. I think it's also like the younger sibling issue, because like Dean has had to like be stupid for Sam when he was a kid as well. So like Sam doesn't know how to be stupid around kids, because he's like, oh, it was so cringe when my brother did it. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to connect with kids in another way.
You're right.
But it doesn't work.
It's so true. Yeah. So last scene of the episode, Sam and Dean are driving in the car, because all the conversations happen in the car. And Sam's like, you know what? Good for them. And he's like, yeah, it's nice to walk away from someone and feel like they could be okay. It's like, how about you? You doing all right? Sam's like, yeah, I'm not doing okay, but I think maybe I just want to work. Dean's like, yeah. And Sam says, should I even ask?
I'm fine.
Fine, meaning?
You're right. We should just work, right? Figure out a way to kick Dick Roman's ass. Oh, hey, we are the professionals.
Ooh! And then they play this music that I found at the beginning of this episode, and now I can't remember the name of. It's really
Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic. And we get this like long close up on Dean's face where Dean is like trying out different ways of smiling. So like fix that mask back into place. And if you haven't listened to that song, it's great because it fits this moment perfectly. It's all about like being a happy person for everybody else, and being an entertainer when maybe you're feeling quite sad inside. And it's so good. The lighting's so brilliant, and it's so painful to watch. And I love it. It just sums up so much of Dean's character. Like, of course.
So I got the name of the song wrong. Sorry. It's Dear Mr. Fantasy.
Dear Mr. Fantasy. Because it's a fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see why. It's because Fantastic Four is coming out soon. Yeah. I loved it. It was great. A perfect end to the episode because he'd actually had his like mask down, I feel, when he was with Chrissy in this. He was kind of grumpy with her. He was pretty straightforward. He wasn't really joking around much with her unless he had to get her to do something.
Yeah.
And now it's him like, slipping that back into place after this. And I can't wait for the next episode. I hope this pays off. Does it pay off? I hope it pays off.
I think it will, because it is such like such a poignant moment, but like, I think I'm hoping how it plays out is that in moments of being surrounded by Sam and like the case, he is very like happy-go-lucky. I'm doing actually quite okay.
Yeah.
But then like we'll get moments of him like breaking down in private.
Yeah. I say that.
And the next episode is their split. Yeah, I know. This is such a good episode, this next one. I'm so excited. I'm excited for the costumes. That is it. That is all I'm excited for.
I love...
And the hair.
A man in a fedora. But not a modern man in a fedora.
The small one.
I need you to go back in time, otherwise it doesn't work. You know? You need to have the full get.
And like I said, so the fedoras that we think of are the ones where the brim is like an inch. No, I'll need the like sort of several inch
I need the big brim.
fedora, which actually the big brim. Yeah.
I think I remember,
I'm
sure I've seen online like a guide to like kissing someone wearing a wide brimmed hat. And it makes me think of that. Because obviously like it's in the way, you know. And it was basically like take your hat off first. But I'm like, yeah. Oh no. So yeah. So I mean, I'll say it now because we can talk about this after. The next episode is Time After Time. Yep. So it's great. And I can't remember how they end up going back in time. I can't remember.
Very nice.
But like I'm really excited for it.
It's a god.
Oh yes, it's always something.
Yeah.
It's always a something.
Yeah.
And like
it's always. I'll keep that in, but yeah.
Yeah. Dean is so like fanboying this whole situation, and I love it so much.
He is. I think it's this episode, or it might be the other time travel where he goes back to the 40s. Is this the one where you keep saying awesome, and the guy's like, "Why is everything of awe to you?"
I can't remember because there's so many time travel episodes. It might be this one.
I can't remember if it was the Abaddon thing or if it was this one. It might be Abaddon, actually.
Yeah, I can't remember. But yeah, this one's great. This one's great. They will dress like gangsters. It reminds me of that Star Trek episode. They go to Gangster Planet.
Of course they do.
And then like Kirk and Spock dress up like in 1940s, get up with hats and everything, and it's great. One of the hats is like furry. But just watch the episode if you haven't watched it. It's amazing.
I will do that. Absolutely.
Kirk has to drive a car and he can't do it, and it's really funny. Yeah, love it. So yeah, so that's next episode. But yeah, this episode, I feel like I said everything I need to say on this episode. I
think so too.
Yeah, parental parallels.
And hopefully, obviously, we only know this because we're doing a rewatch, but you're hopeful that they do get out of the life and don't have to come back into it. But fortunately, we see her again next season.
That's so true. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, hopefully then she gets out, but she probably dies in that episode. Let's be real. I didn't look at what episode it was, but she probably does. Because I feel like season 8 is a bit of a mop up as well. Like they go back and kill a whole bunch of people.
It happens so much where they suddenly decide let's kill off everybody that we knew before. Let's just do that. Like they've done it in this season.
It's true.
Anyway.
Yeah, with Rufus.
Yeah, Rufus, Bobby.
And Bobby. Oh no, Rufus was last season. One we're talking about.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. It will. Yeah. All right. So at the end of the episode, we'd like to thank the Pixelgora for his wonderful logo art. And if you would like that logo art, you can buy it on a tote bag or whatever you like at Redbubble. So go check us out there, Escaping Purgatory Podcast. And we're also that on all the social media, Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram, missing one, Bluesky. But Bluesky, we're Escaping Podcast. So come say hi and tell us you like the show and stuff.
Yeah. we like compliments.
Yeah. Just say good work, guys. Keep it up. Thumbs up.
Yeah. Definitely. This week, we adopted a child for a moment. We were okay parents, and we spoke to their parents and told them to knock it out. Yeah. Knock it off, even. Hopefully, next week we can find our way out.
Bye.